Hello everyone, Adrienne here. So today I'm going to be doing another absinthe review. Today I'm going to be reviewing Joual Vert, and this is an absinthe that is made in Montreal, Canada. So I'm pretty excited to try this one because it's the first Canadian absinthe that I've ever tried, and of course it's a Vert, or green absinthe, which I absolutely love. Before we continue on here, I do want to say that if you want more content like this, which is regarding absinthe reviews, the Gothic subculture, Gothic literature, 19th century culture, and opera, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell for notifications. This was the last of the 4 samples that my good friend Rory sent to me to sample and to taste, so I am very, very, very excited to give this one a shot. Pardon the pun. Apparently the makers of this particular absinthe first tasted absinthe back in 2013, and then they were able to dig up a recipe from the Belle Époque era to bring back to Canada to try and make for themselves. So this is aiming to be a recreation of a Belle Époque style absinthe that was available in the pre-ban era. And being someone who has had pre-ban absinthe, I will be able to have a good frame of reference for how close to the mark that will actually hit. Now, one thing I'd want to do a little bit differently with my review criteria as far as reviewing absinthe is concerned, today I will be employing the format and the system that the Wormwood Society uses to grade and rate and evaluate absinthe. So it'll be a little bit different today. I will be a little more specific in how I will rate this absinthe, and hopefully if you guys like it, I will continue to do it in the future. Please let me know in the comments. Alright, so without further ado, let's do this. Alright guys, here we are. I have my little sample size of Joual Vert. And just for the record, this is 68% alcohol, so kind of a little bit on the strong side. So I'm gonna get a little... Ooh, that smells like it's going to be really sweet. Possible star anise present. I definitely smell a lot of fennel, and I smell a little bit of bite to it, so I'm looking forward to how this is going to be. Okay, so according to the Wormwood Society system of evaluation for absinthe, I will be going one by one through all of these characteristics. So the first thing I will be grading this on is appearance. So as you can see, it's a very pale kind of peridot color. I will take a point away from the score for the color and the appearance of it, just because it is a little paler than I would like. But otherwise, it looks like it's natural. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's bright, but it definitely looks clear. So I will definitely say that. It's definitely a really attractive color. It's just not what I would prefer as far as nuanced and jewel-like. So it's like a very pale peridot. So the next thing I will be grading this on is the Louche. So let's do it. I will say the Louche is not quite as opaque as I would prefer, but it's not unattractive. Okay, it's starting to cloud up a little bit more. One thing I'm really liking about what I'm seeing so far of the Louche is that it looks like there are shades of both white and jade that are dancing in the glass as the water is being added to it, and that certainly makes this look very interesting. And as the water is hitting this, I can definitely smell a lot more of the anise flavor. Definitely a lot more fennel, and I feel a little sting of the wormwood. And maybe I detect a little bit of mint in there from what I can tell thus far. So as you can see, it's turning a little more of a jade color as the louche is progressing here. Not the most vibrant louche that I have ever seen with absinthe, but it still is correct as far as coloring of absinthe is concerned. I'm also noticing little hints of gold along with the white and the jade shades that I am seeing, but for the most part it's still a very pale jade color. Do you guys like the sound of me being this close to the microphone talking about absinthe? Could this possibly be absinthe ASMR? Is this a thing? Let's find out. Alright, I will call that good. I will reposition the camera and we are going to give this a taste. So guys, here is the complete glass of Joual Vert Absinthe, and I will say it's not quite as green as I would like, so I definitely will take 1 point away for the louche. It's definitely pretty. It has some really nice tones of gold and white in there, but not quite green enough for my personal taste, but that's just me. And I will give it another sniff for the aroma test, because the first time I smelled it, it was before the louche actually occurred, so I do want to give it a good smell before I drink it, because the first taste is with the nose. It definitely smells really fresh, and I'm getting a hint of mint in there, and it's not like black licorice candy-ish, but it's definitely pleasant, it's definitely fresh, and I'm getting a little bit of that botanical kind of nuance from what might be fennel in there. That's what I'm guessing. It's definitely not anything special, in my opinion. It seems pretty typical as far as absinthe is concerned. Nothing terribly spectacular about it as far as aroma is concerned here. It definitely smells sweet. I will say that it smells sweet. Alright, let's go ahead and give this a taste. Santé, and as always, please drink responsibly. Interesting. I think, I'm not sure, but I think I taste basil in there. I really got a good after finish and aftertaste of basil and mint together at the end. Like, you know when you stick your nose in a jar of pesto? That's exactly what it felt like with the aftertaste on this one. Not that I mind, of course, because I love pesto and I love basil. This is definitely sweet. So those of you who have a sweet tooth out there, you can probably get away with one morsel of sugar during the preparation process, but I personally do like it without sugar. That's definitely basil. I'm definitely tasting basil in there. I'm also getting a good tingle of wormwood on the tongue, but it's not like overly bitter. So it definitely has a little touch of bitterness, but it's not enough to overpower the natural sweetness and the botanical flavors I'm getting from this particular absinthe. It's definitely interesting. I think that this is the first absinthe that I have tasted that I'm getting a really interesting basil flavor. It's really interesting. Ooh, I'm starting to feel it in the collarbones. Oh dear. But this is really nice. This might be a good one to start out with if you are new to absinthe, and if you really love basil, then I would definitely recommend this. I will say this is not the most delicious or the best absinthe I've ever had, but it's pretty damn good. So I will definitely rate that a 4. It just smells really fresh and sweet, but then when you drink it, it has that little bite and that little whisper of basil. So yes, while this isn't like OMG the best absinthe I've ever had, I will say it's pretty damn good. And I will also say I think because of the body of the absinthe that I'm feeling, I'm thinking this is made with a grape neutral spirit instead of a grain neutral spirit. So it kind of gives it that nice, smooth kind of mouthfeel. And that's definitely something to take into consideration as far as the Wormwood Society format of evaluating absinthe is concerned. So flavor and mouthfeel together are super important. I just can't get over that basil. That's just really interesting. I won't say that it's interesting enough for me to put it into the 5-star category, but it's definitely a 4-star for the aroma and the taste. It is vaguely reminiscent of Vieux Pontarlier, which is one of my absolute favorites that I've ever had in my entire life. So I would say that this is less sweet and less complex than Vieux Pontarlier in my opinion. That really is really, really nice. Has a little sting at the end of the basil and mint finish that you get with it, but it's really nice. So would I recommend this to someone who was a beginner or an absinthero, like an experienced absinthero? Absolutely. Both will definitely get a lot of enjoyment out of this. But I'm not going to rate it an absolute 5-star rating for everything. This is definitely not too off-putting, and as far as the anise is concerned, it seems like the anise is a little bit overpowered by the fennel. So that's another thing that kind of is not making it top-notch for me, because I can really tell that the fennel has overpowered the anise in my opinion. So overall, I will rate this absinthe as very good, not excellent, but very good. So as far as this grading criteria is concerned, I will rate its appearance as 4 out of 5 stars. As far as aroma is concerned, I will rate this a 4 out of 5 stars. It definitely smelled sweet. I could tell that the fennel was taking over the wormwood. 4 out of 5 stars is not bad. It's just that the aroma was not particularly like fascinating and different from other absinthes that I've had. Like, not startlingly different. I could tell from the first sniff that it was going to be sweet, and after it went through the process of the Louche, it definitely sweetened up a lot more. So aroma, 4 out of 5. The flavor slash mouthfeel, I will also rate a 4 out of 5, because once again, it seems like they stuck really close to the traditional kind of flavor profile of absinthe, but there wasn't really anything spectacular about it. It was really good, and I really like it when absinthes try to be as close to the traditional flavor profile as possible, but it just wasn't anything special. I will say that the basil and mint finish at the very end that I was tasting was really interesting, but it does not warrant me rating it 5 out of 5 stars for flavor and mouthfeel. So overall, how do I feel about this? I would say that overall this is a good 3.5 to 4 star out of 5 absinthe. So it's not necessarily special, but it's definitely inspired by traditional recipes. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review of Joual Vert, and don't forget to leave a comment down below telling me what you look for in your ideal absinthes. And have you ever had this one? Please tell me. I'd really like to know. So thank you so much to my patrons MJ, Morella Reborn, and In Ghostly Company. I really appreciate your support. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and please hit the bell for notifications so that you get notified every time I post a video. You guys are amazing. I love you, and I will see you guys later. Bye.